Everyone knows that I absolutely love when Hasan Piker, multimillionaire, grew up rich, never went wanting, pretend socialist. Hasan Piker gets publicly embarrassed. This time, there's a small band of Twitch nobodies who are trying to build relevance on this college campus stuff. In particular, the burnout, do nothing, never was anything individual that is Casey Tron, whose entire personality is, oh, we bruh. Should probably be a great friend for Seth Rogen. But anyway, a lot of these people have no clue what Palestinians actually believe or what would happen to them and their LGBTQ allies should they all go over there to help liberate them. Really? These are just communist LARPers who pretend to care about Palestine. It's the same people who were pretending to care about black people during BLM. They're just Marxists. That's who they are. That's who they've always been. They're dumb. They've always been dumb. They will continue to be dumb. And here's a great thread to lead you into the weekend with just some great zingers. So we got Asmongold, who is a very, very popular Twitch streamer, one of the last popular Twitch streamers there is. I don't really know who's popular now. I guess Kai Cenat is some young black guy that stands in front of his TV or stands in front of his computer and yells and has rappers on. I guess that's the new meta because that's what Aiden Ross does too or whatever. I don't know. I'm too old, like admittedly. And that's no shade to those guys. I'm used to when like people who played video games were popular on Twitch. Anyway, Zach is one of the few people that still plays video games on the platform, it seems like. He wrote, looks like Twitter is mad at me for not supporting protesters' First Amendment rights to build a Rust base, reference to the video game, on campus and block students from going to class. Keep crying about it, guys. If you're loud enough, you might end up on tomorrow's video. Zach is what I would say is generally a centrist. He probably leans left, to be honest with you. In particular, like when it comes to whores, he's very open about, he's very pro whore. And I respect that about him. I respect that he, in general, even though he leans left, which he's every right to do, he doesn't let people push him around for the most part. And he has his own opinions and he sticks by them. So Hassan Abi, who comes in to bully him with his weirdo mob, says, brother, they didn't block students from going to class. They set up a peaceful encampment. I was there. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Was he at Columbia where they did it? Was he at UCLA? Was he at UW Milwaukee, UW Madison, where the same students were doing the same crap? No, Hassan Abi was not. All right. To make perfectly reasonable demands about their tuition dollars being spent on a state currently ending tens of thousands of children, bazillions, quadrillions of children. Okay, almost all of that is pure Hamas propaganda, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, remember, Hassan Abi is the guy that said America deserved 9/11. I mean, let's not. Okay, so this guy is a communist LARPer, always has been. His viewers are NEETs who are rich. Their families are rich. They've never worked a real job, and they pretend to be oppressed. So then Zach, of course, responds with evidence that they are in fact blocking students to attending class, to which he refers, that's a Zionist agitator, counter-protester, routinely trying to enter the encampment. Bro, they don't get to have an encampment. You get that, right? You get that, right? Did you get that many of the people on these student encampments were actually not students on the campus and paid agitators? I mean, you could look that up. I'm not making it up. There's a whole article in the New York Post about it. Dozens of these kids were paid. Okay, many of them not even students. If you look at Columbia, many of those students or many of the people who are breaking into buildings and doing all this crap, they weren't students there. They never were. But Hamas Piker likes to pretend like, oh, these are just bold, brave students fighting the power. Yeah, while they all rack up $80,000 in college debt and everyone else has to pay for it. Either that or their rich parents are paying for their college. Why do you think you don't see any of these protests going on at trade schools, my dude, my brother? Why do you think you don't see this crap going on in trade schools? Because they're there to get an education and add something to society. These people at UCLA and Columbia and all these schools that are $100,000 a year are either rich, have no intention of paying their student loans, and they're just LARPing. They don't care about Palestine. They care about communism. Zach saying, I don't see him trying to harm anyone. He's just talking to them. How is that a problem? So again, he's like, no, I was talking about the video you linked. He's been trying to enter the camp to start fights for the past week. By the way, he's allowed to enter the camp. They're not allowed to prevent him from entering the camp. That is not a First Amendment right. He's allowed to move freely. You get that, right, Hamas Piker? You don't get, the First Amendment does not allow an encampment, okay, where you do not allow the free movement of other citizens to enter and exit. I mean, that's pretty basic stuff for someone who's not a room temperature IQ moron. But I guess, I mean, I look at the level of intellect of people like Hassan or Casey Tron who are promoting and supporting these people. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I get it. It is idiots. It is idiots. He was there. Oh, the day I was there as well. Oh, Hassan went for one day to one school and now he's an expert. By that measure, Alex Stein knows far more than Hassan does because he's been to multiple. He's an agitator. He gets to do that, right? If you get to build a rust encampment, if you get to block the free movement of students, if you get to break into buildings, it's funny how these morons like Hamas Piker simply just ignore the dozens of crimes caught on camera. Now, if that many are caught on camera, you can assume there were many more that weren't. Just pretend those don't exist. Just pretend they didn't take over a building. Just pretend that they didn't stop the free movement of other people. Just pretend that they weren't throwing rocks at people trying to hold the American flag off the ground. Just pretend that they don't yell things like death to America and all this kind of stuff. Just pretend that none of that exists when you're Hamas Piker, okay? It's just, these are just good boys who didn't do nothing wrong. They were probably all future doctors of America, right? It's the same crap. Oh, 4 kids who are all on probation, who all had criminal records, and 2 of them are on ankle bracelets, steal a car. Oh, the science community mourns another loss. That's who these people are. They aren't interested in facts. They're only interested in pushing their own level of propaganda. Again, where are the videos of him actually starting fights? If I look behind the people blocking him, there aren't any encampments at all either. It's fine to condemn that guy, but I don't see any evidence of him doing what you're saying. Brother, you said students were being blocked from going to class. They are. Okay, there are dozens of videos of it. Again, Hamas Piker, by his own admission, is a propagandist. He said this on Piers Morgan. Okay, he's not interested in the truth. He never has been. This one person angled that video to dupe others. Oh yeah, it's out of context. Oh, it's Schrodinger's douchebag. Oh wait, no, it's just a joke. What's the one where every misaction by people that you like is somehow out of context? Everything that happens in your world that is bad for you is out of context. Everything that happens in your world that is good for you is completely in context, and nobody needs to look into it any further at all. Right? That's what these people do. Like, oh, it's that clip's out of context. Okay, well, what is the but the clip you're pointing in your support? You're saying that shows all the context. Well, if he's a student and he can't go somewhere in the school because people are blocking him, it's wrong. They have no right to justification to decide who can and can't go to somewhere on campus. I don't see how anyone can defend this, he writes. Don't forget, too, that these people also were having campuses shut down. Columbia shut down. Students couldn't go get their food that they paid for in the mess hall. I don't know what you call it. Mess hall is like a military term, right? That is not a convenient narrative. That's the truth. So what is it that you want? I mean, do you want the truth? No, Hamas Piker doesn't actually want the truth whatsoever. The idea that you have to go all the way, they're like, oh, I drew a map. He could have walked all the way around. He doesn't have to walk all the way around, you weirdo LARPer. There was access to class from multiple other approaches. See map. So some neat in their basement while their mom was making them tendies was like, well, this person could have completely inconvenienced themselves and walk all the way around campus. They don't have to do that. They don't have to do that. All these communist LARPers Here's smelly Caseytron. Well, people say she's smelly. I don't know if she is. She was just banned from Twitch yesterday too. Ha ha ha. I think Asmongold's just jealous because he lives in a garbage pile. Oh, there's a high IQ take. Wow, a great argument from Weed Lamau. You know, I just, these people are all idiots. And, you know, Hamas Piker is just a propagandist, mostly interested in pushing his propaganda. Good on Asmongold for standing up for himself. Hopefully he doesn't delete that. Looks like he hasn't deleted it. Good for him. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, subscribe down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.